What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Shit, that audio ain't recording. Hold on 1 second with me, there, ladies and gentlemen. Show ain't no good without no audio. Boom.
Yeah, live from higher frequencies. Oh yeah, positively, originally from the headquarters. You're witnessing the Holy Grail. Ow.
Alright, guys, let's do this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. This is episode number 11 of Higher Frequencies, The Process.
Yes.
We got a guest today, my man here, the Beard God.
Oh, the beard God is in the building, and I appreciate you for having me. Higher frequencies.
It's good to have you, bud. It's good to have you. So we're going to talk about the process. Well, my view and my experience on the process and how I see things are going to go. And then we're going to let my God over here tune in and talk about his process, and
Sure.
we'll hit up the Facebook chat and all that and see if anybody wants to ask any questions or add in. You guys know how it goes.
Yes, on the Facebook chat is where it's at.
Let me see if I
Hello,
can,
Tracy.
see if I can set this up real quick.
Namaste, sending positive energy your way. It even rhymed, didn't it? Thank you very much. Thank you, Eddie. I appreciate that. The Eddie. I said Eddie. The audio is mastered, classified, right? Right, higher frequency. Do you want to tell them what's going on with the audio? Because Eddie said audio is tough.
Audio's tough.
Badass. The audio is complete badassery.
I'm trying to, hold on 1 second. I'm about to get going.
Yeah. I hope you all have an amazing, awesomeness, epic day. Because we are. If you're here right now, your day is going to be amazing, amazing, amazing. Alex. Yeah. Wow. Trust the process. So higher frequency. So about the process, what will the beautiful viewers be receiving from the process? Just a brief summary, just light insight.
I'm going to talk about my process on my path.
Sure.
How I see things are about to play out for everyone, and that's the process.
Yeah, the process.
What to expect, what not to expect.
Absolutely, positively.
Alright, we got the chat up and shit. Let's get the stuff going.
I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you. You are so amazing.
Alright, so the process, guys. Let's start with my process. Edgar Casey refers to Revelation in the Bible as a metaphor for your personal journey to the path of enlightenment or Christ consciousness or whatever you want to label it. And so if anybody knows anything about the scriptures, it talks about a period of basically kind of peace, and then a time of hell and darkness. Christians referred to it as rapture, like all the Christians were going to disappear in thin air, and all this rest of us were going to be stuck down here, putting up with hell on earth and taking the mark of the beast and all kinds of scary things. But Edgar Casey, my man, he was a mystic, and he had abilities to channel and other things like that. And so I liked his theory as it's just a metaphor on your path. And there's a lot of numerology in there referring to like 7 and 12 and stuff like that. And anytime you see these numbers, 7 is your chakras. That's the 7 churches. Your chakras has got everything to do with your path to enlightenment. It's got everything to do with your connection to consciousness. It's got everything to do with the health of your body. True. These are your chakras. Learning about this is how you take care of your temple, which is your body.
Yes.
And so, the 7 churches in there is referring to your personal temple, which is your body, your vehicle for this experience. And then the 12, I'm pretty sure, is referring to your DNA and the dimensions. And so we actually are capable of having 12 strands of DNA instead of 2, because we're quantum beings, and they talk about us being the only ones with 23 chromosomes, I believe. But now quantum physics has proven that our DNA interferes with quantum entanglement, and so that means that your DNA has a quantum level to it, and so the 24th chromosome is the quantum one, and you just can't see it with the 3D technology. Wow. And so congratulations, guys, you're just a bunch of fucking time travelers and you ain't figured it out yet.
We are multi-dimensional beings having a superhuman experience.
That's right. And so the reference and the hidden metaphors in there is, a lot of you guys has already been there. I know I've been there, and a lot of people are going through it now. But you go through this process where you have to purge your life. It's the same way to get out of addictions, and also the same way to enlightenment or consciousness or whatever you want to call it. And so you go back to square one, which is you, and you kind of purge everything and everybody out of your life that doesn't rest right with your soul or serve your purpose. And then you start to find yourself and learn about yourself, and then you go from there, from like basically not having anybody in your life, not surrounded by anybody, to like finding your new tribe and stuff like that. And so that's the metaphor. That's all the metaphors like in the Bible about the death and the resurrection. It's like the death of the ego has to die on the cross, which represents your body, and in that you will rise again. You will be reborn, reborn through Christ consciousness.
The metamorphosis.
It's just all metaphors, just words of metaphors. You can't take this shit literally. Whenever you look at all the religions, you see. You actually find a bunch of more puzzles, and you can put this master puzzle together, which is like it's the purpose. Sure. It's meant for us to find this now and step back and be like,
for certain.
Oh shit! Is that what that is?
Awesome sauce.
And so, so I've been there. I've had to cut just basically everybody out of my life. My intuition told me a few years back that I needed to cut some individuals out of my life. I ignore my intuition, and the universe has a way of showing you come hell or high water on what needs to be done. Yeah. And you can fight it and live in hell on earth, or you can eventually submit, and you can learn some lessons, and then maybe you can go on a journey after that. And so So I took a couple steps and cut a few people out of my life.
True.
But it still come the hard way. Each one come the super hard way with longer extended lessons to learn from.
Absolutely. Positively.
And then, but the very last one that I had to separate from was the one that took the longest. Took about 2 years. And so there's a lot of things to learn and reflect on, especially 2 years of knowing something and then not doing it, or not making a move, or just listen to your intuition. But the universe was talking to me in fucking numbers and just every single way possible.
True.
Little did I know why. It's because I was meant to do something else.
Far more greater.
Yeah, exactly. And so inevitably I ended up learning about frequencies and things like that. And so I think you're better off if you're better off being alone and vibrating higher by yourself, being happy by yourself, than surrounding people that might suck your energy or bring you down. Because on the previous podcast I've already showed that you emit a frequency with basically your emotions or your intentions, and that affects everybody around you. On their level, on their frequency. Your higher frequency can actually raise somebody's lower frequency. And so it's way better to be by yourself, vibrating high and fucking meditating like a monk or some shit, than to be around anybody that's bringing your frequency down. You're actually
depleting your energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're actually doing more for the world by being by yourself and vibrating higher than you are to live in hell yourself and keep your frequency down and giving somebody else more momentum that's keeping their frequency down and shit like that. That's like it's real simple, your vibe attracts your tribe. You already can feel, even people that's not empathetic like me, everybody's still got a certain degree of empathy. And so they you automatically feel when somebody's in a good mood or a bad mood.
True.
And you'll want to be around them or not want to be around them. Somebody's walking around with a big old smile on their face all the time. You're gonna be like, I want to be around that guy because his frequency's high.
High vibrations.
His vibration is high, and so his high vibration is attracting other people's high vibration.
True. Like attracts like.
That's right.
And so it is.
And so that's how people end up in this muck circle. Is like they'll end up getting in a bad mood and they're talking about, oh, life has done this to me and life's done that to me. And then they got that one buddy who's in the same fucking frequency. And the next thing you know, they're hanging out with each other and they're both like, man, life's just kicked my ass. Like, yeah, life's kicked my ass too. So they're just sitting there vibrating low, stewing that shit together.
Sure.
Whereas if just the one guy, hits that optimistic point, well, he's automatically like raised his frequency by hitting the compromise frequency or the optimistic thing.
Sure.
And well, you might be like, well, yeah, I know such and such. We got a bad habit of feeling better about ourselves when somebody else is doing worse. It's kind of horrible, but these type of vibrations, you're like, well, such and such, is doing worse than us, and then next thing you know, you might be heading up the spectrum there, like raising vibrations.
True.
But that's why you gotta watch what you attract. And you got to watch your crowd, and that's why everybody's went through this purge point, because the world ended in 2012, guys. I don't know if you realized it yet. It won't be long. I know the old world ended in 2012. It was the same predictions.
Sure.
just from different religions and metaphorized in a different way. You know, different metaphors, still
Different
saying the same
format,
shit. Yeah,
same
same
concept.
concept. Only thing they're saying was the planets was going to align in a different faction, and in the long run, everybody was going to become conscious.
True.
You know, so the second coming of Christ is reference to Christ consciousness, the second coming of Christ consciousness. The Mayans called it the start of the golden age. It's the same thing. And so the old world ended in 2012, and it takes a long time for things to change. I may have had, I probably became conscious sometime in the past, but maybe didn't follow it. But I know there's a point just a few months ago which I could really call like an awakening or something that really kind of changed my life. But once I went through my process of purging the things that didn't sit well with my soul, or cut out people that didn't fit in my life, or changed my diet where I didn't eat meat, you know, whatever. Everybody went through that purge over the last 5 years, and I know the energy at the end of last year and then the like first month of January this year was like super purge mode.
Yeah.
So any of you guys out there that hadn't purged certain things in the past, I know you got that shit done by fucking January. Because that was just the energies, and it was worldwide. It was it's kind of political, it was economical, it was in everybody's life. And that's why I just tell you guys to you got to unplug the TVs and shit, and realize that truth coming to light. The light always wins over darkness, and so you know, the government's been doing a lot of scary things for a long fucking time, and I've known about it, and so everybody else is just now learning about it. So that's the beautiful thing. That's how light wins over darkness. Is all the sleepies are gonna find out.
Absolutely.
And so turn that shit off. Don't worry about it. I've already did that for you. So don't put yourself through that hell. Turn off your TV and unplug. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's fucking beautiful, so just go ahead and cut that shit out.
True.
And so turn off your TV. I've already told you guys, your thought manipulates reality. And so if you're watching that TV and you're thinking about the bullshit and the fear that they're feeding you, then you're promoting that fear and you're manipulating your reality.
True.
And so just the simple act of everybody cutting off their TV, oh, the world would change like the next day. It would be fucking crazy. But that's not going to happen, and we'll get to that a little while later. So I ended up purging my life. Right before that, I like made a decision that I'm not going to be broke no more. You know, I used the God within and affirmed, and one reason I'd done it was, well, obviously for myself, but I was kind of trying to show a friend too, like the power that you actually have, and so one day I was like, you know what, I'm tired of being fucking broke, I ain't gonna do it no more. At the end of the day, I had a fucking $80 in my pocket out of nowhere, you know.
Sure.
It's like, wow. And then ever since, you know, I've had a real good job and a great project. And the project has been a blessing beyond blessing, because I get to work out in the woods and nature. So I'm always getting a nice tune on my vibration. I try to keep me straight, you know. You know, my philosophy is I like to vibrate at love and above all the time.
True.
And so I got little tools. I got me a little puppy named Buddy, which is from my little boy Liam.
Sure.
He's got a little heart on his butt. So the universe works in mysterious ways. That's for sure. You know where the Bible said where God works in mysterious ways? Well, that ain't the fucking truth. I don't know what is. And it's funny because it looks like he's got a semicolon on his neck. So it's like, wait a minute. Love. It's like pause and love, so
Infinite love is the only truth.
I know that's
so
right.
the dog was just a friendly reminder.
And I take him with me everywhere, and so he can kind of be there always as like this constant reminder, visual of saying, hey, love and above, because it's hard sometimes. You'll forget people beating you down, or life's beating you down, people's vibrations sucking you in and stuff like that, because people haven't learned how to differentiate their own feelings and shit. It's a long process. It takes a lot of learning.
Yeah.
So that's why we do the show too, so we can kind of talk about things and help people like get through the dark side a little easier, or just try to shine any kind of light on anything for them. Just kind of spread love light.
So it's about love, light, peace, unity.
That's right.
Oneness.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's my religion, oneness. One love.
That's right. Unity. Unity, consciousness. All those beautiful words. It all goes back to one. One's such a beautiful, magic motherfucking number. It's one. If everybody could just put one in their mind and their life and just understand that everything is one. You are
oneness.
Everything you see. You're sitting here watching me on this fucking, what I like to call the artificial consciousness grid that we call the internet. But we could actually just call this mug artificial life, because what you see on this screen is a bunch of numbers of ones and zeros, and with the internet, that is the duplication of consciousness of everybody being connected all the time.
True.
And then you got a holographic display. Motherfuckers, this is a duplication of life right in front of your face. A bunch of ones and zeros in a visual perception. And so consciousness is cool. It's funny how we build things to duplicate nature. It's our nature.
It's in our DNA.
Yeah, exactly. And so on my process, I ended up doing the purge. And man, it wasn't 5 days after I did what I should have done 2 years ago. It was like, bam, something happened. Like the awakening and shit. It's like something crazy happened, and then like after that, I felt like I needed less sleep.
Yeah.
My body started changing physically. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life.
Likewise.
I eat the best I've ever eaten in my life. I do the vegetarian thing these days. Eventually, I'll kick the cheese and go vegan. But if I go vegan, it'd probably just be all raw diet, like all raw fruits and raw vegetables, just straight up.
Being a vegan for going on 3 years now, this definitely changed the way I see reality.
Can you pull the microphone a little closer?
The way I see, and you hear me better.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I've been a vegan for about 3 years. Okay, and it's definitely helped my spiritual growth, inner healing, and just seeing the world from a different, broader perspective. Right. So it's definitely helped me in a lot of ways. A lot of benefits from just changing your. I'm not going to call it a diet. I'm going to call it a lifestyle.
Yeah, what you eat is definitely a lifestyle.
Right. So you're basically just changing your lifestyle, and once you change your lifestyle, then now you can see it from a different perspective, a different reality point of view. Right. So just alone becoming a vegan. It's definitely helped me and so many others in major ways. And would I go back to ever eating meat? No, because I'm more aware of what comes with that lifestyle.
Conscious of what you eat.
Conscious eating. I'm not just consciously thinking, I'm consciously eating as well.
That's right. Consciousness applies to all steps in life. And so, I made my steps. I became conscious. I was already like conscious of numbers, I would like to say I was awakened to what
Thank you.
consciousness was.
Thank
And so I had a good bit of consciousness in me, but actually knowing what consciousness was and knowing the oneness, I shifted to the fifth dimension. You
Wow.
know, the fifth is just all the dimensions is the journey within, because that's all the prophecies and all the teachings from all the ascended masters or yogis or avatars or whatever the fuck you want to call them that's been throughout history that people wanted to organize religions and shit from. But they were possibly the same incarnate or the duplicate energy or whatever you want to call it, but they were just teaching love, and they were all teaching the connection with the Father.
True.
Or the light source in the universe, creator or whatever. All of that is a journey within. So any BS or belief system, religious doctrine hasn't taught you anything, or anybody that tries to tell you enlightenment or God or some bullshit like this on the outside is going to help you or save you, is automatically that one little simple fucking thing. So far, it's one word, just fucking sends you the opposite direction. It's crazy.
Basically unfucking yourself.
So
Unfucking
unmindfuck
oneself.
yourself. Everybody's been mindfucked and didn't know it. And so,
Yeah.
as soon as you unfuck your mind and realize that everybody and everything is connected, and everything is a duplication of you, and that you are God, and this is all a duplication of the one love light in the center of the universe, you operate in the fifth dimension.
Welcome
That is what being in the fifth is.
to the fifth dimension.
And so I think I told you guys back in the middle of February, I'd already kind of heard it from some people, and then I felt it myself. But Earth is in the fifth, and so part of the shift has already happened. Like Mother Gaia is consciousness, the Earth is consciousness.
Itself is consciousness.
Yeah, it's always been conscious, but you gotta think the Earth is also a duplication of ourselves.
We are cut from the same fabric.
Exactly. And
as
so,
the universe.
just as we've been unconscious of the universe, or the Earth, you can think that the Earth has kind of been the same for us. And so now the Earth is like just as conscious of as we who are conscious now are
Sure.
conscious of it.
Sure.
And so so every time so there's going to be like what I believe is going to be a critical mass point. They've already did studies on consciousness with monkeys and with humans. They did one where they showed these people in England a demographic, a real closed, small area demographic. They showed them a picture of a bunch of faces, and everybody could only see like a few of the faces, and so they showed a completely separate demographic after they showed the other demographic where the other faces were, and the other demographic in Australia seen nearly all the faces.
Wow.
And then there's another one where they were studying these monkeys on the island, and there was one island that wasn't around. There's a set of islands, and they all have different monkeys on them. And on one island, these monkeys started cracking their coconuts, I don't believe what it was, on rocks. And it wasn't a big thing, a few would learn it here and there, and then more monkeys on that island started learning through the generation. And I think they call it the 100 monkey experiment or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But inevitably, there was a critical mass point where like so many of the monkeys knew about cracking that nut with that rock that all these monkeys on the other islands started doing the same thing, but they hadn't seen none of the other monkeys doing it.
They weren't a witness of
Exactly.
the coconut being cracked.
Yeah. And so, the consciousness grid, there was a critical mass point where those other monkeys became conscious of that method of cracking the coconut, because that's how consciousness works. Everything you think or feel or anything, all these thoughts feed into the consciousness grid, and the consciousness grid is just like a connection to source or the love light. And so every life is obviously a duplication, but every life that anybody's ever lived, experienced, I don't care if it's a plant, like I said, you're all a duplication of this. So plant, rock, bee, fly, me, you, the source or prime creator is all of these experiences in one place. And so consciousness is connecting to that. And so I like to think the consciousness grid is more like an internet. It's a continuous feed of everybody's thoughts and actions and reactions, and you can kind of, when you learn how to use it, you'll be able to use it just like the internet. You'll be able to, direct your thoughts to any past, future, or whatever in your thought. When you become fully aware how to use these time machine vehicles, we'll be able to experience any fucking life we've had.
Absolutely.
And manipulate this one into any life that we have once we become fully capable of the gods and goddesses that we are.
Yes.
And so I believe that I already see and know that there's more people becoming conscious every day, every single day, and it's a singularity fact. It goes faster, but the frequency of the universe has been increasing. The entities that's being born here on Earth are at higher frequencies. We talked about that, the indigo rainbow and the indigo rainbow and the crystal children. Back on episode number 6 or 7 or 8, I can't remember. But the entities that are being born now, they're vibrating at higher frequencies. The universe, the pulse of the universe is vibrating at a higher level.
Yes.
And so everybody's been forced to vibrate higher, whether they like it or not. But you can't just automatically vibrate higher because your body can't handle it. And so it's like the natural process of the universe working with us to the shift, that critical mass point. Yeah, you can't just go pow, your vessel can't handle it. Because what is going on here, guys, is fucking monumental shit.
I just want to say, we appreciate you all tuning in, and thank you for being amazing, and thank you for being here. I just want to say thank you.
I know that's right. Yeah. Always fucking so grateful of everybody and everything.
Namaste. Thank you for just being here and witnessing and this moment, sharing this moment. We appreciate you from the heart space, 100%. Thank you, universe. Thank you. Namaste. Sending love and light your way.
And so, shit, I lost where I was at. You remember what I was talking about?
The thoughts are pending right now. Because you were talking and I was talking at the same take.
So my process.
Back to the process.
After I finally took the steps and started moving, I guess towards my path. I started getting more and more numbers, and more affirmations and synchronicities. The universe is always throwing you signs and messages out there, especially whenever you see them and you listen. And so, as soon as I took the necessary actions, everything just kind of has went in super drive. And it's such a beautiful thing. Somehow I end up here in front of you guys talking about the things that we come out and talk to you about and talk with. Like I say, I always enjoy doing these.
True.
I know bits and pieces of a lot of things that I talk about when I come out here with you guys. I'm learning as soon as I'm talking, and so coming out and saying it is teaching me, facilitating, teaching to myself as you guys are being facilitated, because you're all knowing. I'm not a teacher. I'm a facilitator of knowledge.
Absolutely.
I'm helping you remember the things you already know.
Just a real friendly reminder.
That's right. And so it's funny, this hologram that's yours, this universe.
Yes.
I'm just you sitting here telling you what you need to hear. It's you telling yourself what you need to hear.
We're just sharing this experience with you. Definitely appreciate you. In tune, trust the process. Higher frequencies. Nicholas, this is an amazing moment. Thank you for having me. First and foremost, I appreciate you for having me. And the here and the now, the present moment. Thank you.
You're welcome, my brother.
Namaste.
Stay, my man. And so, that was my personal process. I kind of listened to my intuition. Somehow an event happened that I would call my awakening, where I became super conscious than what I was before. And then my soul started pulling me a certain way towards a certain path. And I'm still just letting my intuition and life pull me where I need to go. But I feel like I know where I need to go, and it's such a beautiful and satisfying thing.
Sure.
And so when you become conscious, you realize that you're in control of everything that is your life, and that you can control it with your thoughts. Much less if you put it into words and action. That's adding fucking super momentum, because your thoughts alone is changing your reality and giving you what you see, what you put any energy in that thought, or you put any energy in that thought to make it words, or hell, you go as far as making that energy in the words and the action. You just sent that bitch in the super drive of manifestation.
You take it out of auto drive and put it in the super drive and take off like a fucking rocket ship.
That's right.
I just realized that the process has definitely helped my spiritual growth, helped me see just a different perspective in my reality. Just by changing my thoughts, my intentions, and realizing separation is the greatest illusion, right? So once I realized that separation was an illusion, we are one. We're just reflections. We're one and the same. And life is. I'm not saying every day is perfect, because nothing is perfect. Everything is imperfect, right? So I would just say that life has become more lighter. It's not stressful. It's no friction. It's like if I see a situation coming my way, I use alchemy towards it, right?
Yeah.
And, I transmute that shit.
Yeah.
Sit that shit back to center. Like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit energy. That's what I do. I'm a transmuter. And so, and I just realized this, enjoying life and not taking it so seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
Keeping your inner child alive, and most of us are, I include myself, I know a part of my early path, I got into relationships, and I took it serious, right? Keyword, serious. And now you're losing that friendship connection, right? That's when it's all fun and games, when you're just friends at first, and you're not being so serious. You're texting each other emojis. You're just that indicator just glowing like the sun, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, now you get into a relationship, which is attachment. It's attachment. So now it's jealousy, greed, and Yoda was right, because I based that upon my own experience, and I put it out there, and so many others could relate to that. That's why you always realize, when even if you had a relationship, or you're in one now, but you realize, even when you get time with yourself and you're alone, you feel so much lighter. You have so much more clarity. You feel at one. You don't have anyone pulling on your soul, literally. And it's like they may not even realize that they're doing it, because it's a habit. That's why I always state that if one can't be alone, one doesn't know who they are. And that's why I say that for, for a purpose, because if you don't know who you are, you're going to treat people anyway.
That's
Any
right.
kind of way. The way that you know it.
That's right.
That may not be the truth, but who is to say what the truth is?
Truth is
Right. So
truth is perception.
yeah, it's the truth is just our own perception, the way you see it, and that's what makes everyone unique, by seeing the world, this human experience from a different, broader perspective. I see it this way, I see it that way. It's not about being right or wrong, or my way is right and your way is wrong, or no, that's the wrong way, this is the right way. No, it's about the way you see it, and not, using your perspective as the only way.
Yeah.
Like even in spirituality, it's not about being positive; it's about being real. So, including myself, before I was raising my consciousness, I was like positive vibes only every day.
Yeah.
Positive vibes. It was a lot of things I wasn't even expressing or talking about, and didn't want to believe that it happened. But I was like positive vibes. But when I just started to be real and release the energy that I was suppressing, now I'm more peaceful. Now I can heal. Now I can just say, and blow that bullshit away, And it's like I love life. I enjoy it. I embrace it. I embody the present moment, and that's the secret. And that's why meditation is very essential to remaining one in the present moment. Because meditation is for getting you in the present moment, getting one in the present moment, remaining in the present moment. And once you become, because you're focusing on your breathing, so you can be present. You ever went to school and the teacher said, "We're doing a roll call," and you say, "Here, present."
Mm-hmm.
At that moment, at that very moment you said present, it was a connection. You're present, right? So the meditation is making you present, making one, not making you, it's helping you become more present, right? So
Yeah.
I realized that based upon my own experience. I'm like, whoa, they don't play this on the radio. It's like, wow, and even when you listen to the radio, it's at a 440 hertz frequency, which is the lowest. It's like, it's like that's
Produces fear.
exactly. That's
anxiety,
damaging your DNA. It's not repairing it. Repairing it is 432 hertz.
That's right.
Repairing it is
Nature.
528
That's why nature
hertz.
vibrates.
Or just being in nature barefoot, right? That's how you repair your DNA. But by listening to the radio, and part of my early path, I used to drink a lot of hard liquor and alcohol, vodka, gin.
Get that bad spirit in there.
I could drink a whole fifth to myself, and it's like, wow. And I was listening to the radio. So not only was I damaging my DNA, right, I was adding to the damage that was already in play.
Yeah.
But I wasn't conscious of what was taking place, because it was a habit.
Yeah.
But I realized when I looked in the mirror, I was dehydrated. I was weak. I didn't feel confident. I thought that the world was going to come to an end. All these perceptions that I had. I didn't have one. I had a million. It was like, because every day the human mind has over 60,000 thoughts each day, right? So science is proven that. So it's like, wow, every day we're having 60,000 thoughts. Shut the fucking front door and lock it, barricade it. I need to think this shit out. And how can you become more, find balance within every day of this human experience? Because being a human is tough. We said we're awakening, but consciousness, and what I would say was, from my perspective of being awakened in consciousness, it's you just become aware. You become infinite awareness, right? That's what you basically become when you wake up. You become infinite awareness of your reality. And so it's like, you're basically talking about the reality that you weren't conscious, you weren't aware, that you didn't know what the heck to go left or right, you didn't know what to go do. You were programmed, like, I gotta go to work tomorrow, I gotta go do this tomorrow. You're already talking about tomorrow, so that's knocking you out of the present moment, which is the now. So you're like tomorrow I gotta do this, tomorrow I gotta do that, or next month I gotta do this. So you're already putting all these spells, right? Because words are spells. So you're placing all these spells in your subconscious mind. So now that becomes a what? Belief system.
That's right.
Yeah, even the dog said, "Arf," that becomes a belief system. Even the dog agreed. The dog said, "Arf." That was confirmation from the universe. So it's like, wow, and if you even go back, the days higher frequency that you were in school, right? And you remember when
You call me Nick.
Higher frequencies. This is your show. I'm just a guest. You know, and I appreciated you again for having me. You ever realize when you're in school, we're taught spelling words, right? Spelling words.
Spelling.
So we're taught to spell each other in school. I'm like, and I thought outside the box. I said, wow, we were, you know, think about where these spells come from. You know, it comes from a lot of perspectives. I'm not going to say it comes from this nationality, that nationality. I'm not going to say that. But what I want to say to you is, why would we taught that in school without the proper knowledge and wisdom about spelling words, or how powerful our thinking is, or if I think in negative, how dangerous that is. You know, like why weren't we taught these things in school? When the teacher asked you in school, right, Nick? When the teacher asked you in school, he or she said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" What was your response to that?
I've never really had a response, I don't think. Maybe be in the army, maybe.
That's badass. You say you never had a response, right?
I don't remember too many responses.
Yeah, so I would say when the teacher asked me, she said, Devin, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I looked at her and I said, I remember I looked at her and I said, I want to be me, right? I want to be me. Can I be me? Can I be myself? Everyone else in the class was like, I want to be a fireman. I want to be a policeman. I want to be a truck driver. I want to be this. But no one in the room said I wanted to be me. I wanted to be myself. You see, so I was already planting seeds at an early stage of consciousness.
That's what's up, for sure. That's some tight shit.
You know, but I wasn't aware of it at that time, at that period, at that level of consciousness of my life. I wasn't aware, you know, until I really, because I've been out here, you know, I've been on my own since I was 15. So I've been out here in the planet, the universe, with all that experience. And now, in human years, I'm 32, right? So that's 16 years, you know, like, wow, you know what I mean? So it's like, whoa, you know, like, goodness gracious.
It is. It's some shit. It's wow. And so this process, there's gonna be a process here, guys. We're gonna hit a crackle. We're gonna hit a critical mass point where so many of us will become conscious, and I feel like, you know, everybody's gonna kind of be going about their day one day. They'll be working and flipping their cheeseburgers and shit like that, and we'll just be doing whatever we do, and they're just gonna be like, just like that, and they're gonna realize that we're all connected, and we're all, this all goes to one, you know, one love, and so I feel like there's gonna be this aha moment where all the sleepies wake up forcefully, because everybody's getting information and downloads in their sleep. They're getting people like my man here and people like me coming out and talking to people where we wouldn't usually do that. There's people that watch us that's trying to get people to watch us, and they're talking to people, and so all the seeds are getting planted, and then the things are coming to fruition, and it just makes all this shit happen faster and faster and faster until there's going to be a oh shit, everybody's gonna kind of wake up, and don't be surprised if fucking everybody just kind of goes home and fucking packs a bag up and throws the little bit of shit that they actually needed, and they get in their fucking car and they drive one direction until it runs out of gas, and they get out and they just start walking, and they're not gonna know where they're walking, but little do they know where they're walking, there's gonna be a whole bunch of people there looking for the same answers. You know, they're gonna be conscious that we're all connected, but it's not going to be like a boom. We're going to be in a new reality where everything's fixed and perfect. Humans and everybody have this things about getting on these movements and thinking like everything's going to be like, wow, perfect. I do feel like there's going to be a point where everybody becomes conscious everywhere, and they're just kind of going to throw down what the fuck they're doing. They're just going to walk away from their jobs, and they're going to drive out to places like I go, like up in Nashville, Mountain Light Sanctuary, and they're going to meet other people who were brought there or drawn there, and you know, they're going to be seeking connections. They're going to have questions, and there'll be people there that'll have questions and answers and all that, and we'll learn to connect with one another. It'll be a beautiful thing, but there's still a lot of work to do after that. on creating the new world, the heaven on earth. So even after everyone becomes conscious, people still resist and fight what they know. They do it every day. People numb themselves with alcohol and drugs or food or TV or candy or gambling or hookers or whatever the fuck.
Even hookers, right?
So everybody is addicted to being happy, and they have certain tools that they think gives them happiness, but really just gives them more sadness inevitably.
Sure.
It's just kind of the little the little sad cycle that some of us put ourselves through.
Sure.
But so there'll be like I believe there'll be a critical mass point where everybody becomes conscious in the fifth dimension operation.
Yes.
Of unity, love, or one consciousness, one connection, and all that. And then there'll still be some that resist the things that they know because there's certain people that's hard-headed, and so there'll be a process after everyone becomes conscious to fix all the things that we've done to ourselves already. Like I said, there's no one to blame for everything that's going on because we were the ones that done it to ourselves, because we were those people in those previous lives, so we did it to us. And we're also the ones that come here now to change it and make it better. And so, like, the Earth experience is unique. I'm pretty sure it's like the only one that's kind of been thrown at this forced experiments to become conscious, like in really short time period. And so everything that's going on now is like monumental, universally, all across the galaxies, all the galaxies. Everybody has been watching us.
Galaxies.
Everybody across all entities, far and wide, have been watching Earth and the things that we're doing, because what things we're doing right now is monumental on that type of scale.
Sure.
For everybody to ascend together. It's a beautiful fucking thing. I mean,
Yes.
it's great. I'm glad that I chose to come here at this time so I could see this shit.
Absolutely.
And be a part of it.
Absolutely. Nick, just having this human experience, man, from a different perspective. How did you feel on just being more consciousness, in your process of your spiritual growth? How do you feel about being more aware and conscious? I know the process is painful. We all know that being awakened is nothing to brag about. It's nothing to boast. It's a painful experience. And we actually become more consciousness and awakened through suffering. So it's like, who wants to, be boastful about, okay, I had an awakening through suffering. Wow, so life is amazing. So it's like, it's definitely changed your life for the better. But look at the growth and the pain that you had to acquire with the spiritual growth. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
So it's like it definitely changed my life. But on that perspective, on the spiritual, your spiritual growth, how did how did it change your life for the better?
Changed my life for the better. They call it a rebirth for a reason.
Sure.
Because you relearn fucking everything.
You
learn
do.
how to talk.
You do.
You learn how to walk. I mean, because everybody's, like you said before, everybody's walking in the past.
Yes.
Or the future. They don't realize how
What
to
about
walk
being-
in the present.
What about being present? One of my quotes were, one of my quotes I wrote. I said, "We are taught to rap presence, but we aren't taught to be present."
That's
right?
correct.
So it's like wow, even that's a spell.
Yeah.
Right. So we put in that spell, the rapper present, the rapper gift, and the present moment is a gift.
Yeah.
So it's like wow, you just start looking at life from a total different perspective. Like wow.
Yeah. So it was a rebirth, just like like it says, is I see the world in a whole new light. I learned how to walk in the present, which gives me the time to exuberate the beauty of the universe and all the blessings. And so I'm highly fucking thankful all the time for all the blessings that I have, because I'm just fucking super highly blessed. And the more I talk about how blessed I am, the more fucking blessed I get. It's fucking awesome.
Infinite blessings, abundance of blessings. And that's what I realized, just being in an attitude of gratitude, it's got me a long way. I came a long way from, having nothing but a vision, because I'm a visionary. It went from just having nothing to a vision, and that vision transitioned and transformed into my reality.
That's exactly how it works.
Right. I just focused on, not on how much money I had in my pocket, or not on what kind of car I was driving, or who I was in a relationship with. I was focused on just that vision. That's a sacrifice that I made, and it changed my life for the better. And most of us don't want to pursue a vision. I know myself, I didn't want to pursue a vision because at that time I needed currency. So I said, if I'm not bringing that currency in, how am I able to pursue a vision? So I was scaring myself to literally, I was frightened. That's my belief system that made, okay, I'm not able to do it because I don't have the currency to do it. So now I'm remain of a stagnant state of mind, right? Stagnant state of being. I believe that. So that puts me in absolute fear, right? So I created an illusion that wasn't even present until I mentioned it, until I cast that spell on my reality, right? So it's like, wow. And really going out here and, out here in the wild side, you want to call it, nature, whatever you want to address it by, but it's healing, and the soul needs that. Each and every one of us needs solitude. Each and every one of us need healing, because spirituality isn't a religion. Spirituality is who we are essentially.
That's right.
Spirituality is just your story.
Yeah.
Like right now, we're sharing our experience. That's spirituality. It's no judgment. It's straight raw. It's real. This is what's happening. This is what we experience. It costs nothing to be real. It's actually priceless. But real is rare. It's so rare, and it's like, why is it rare? And I asked myself, in my early path, why didn't I want to be real? Why did I want to pretend to be something or someone that I'm not?
Yeah.
And I realized that was hindering me to be unique, to be original, to be greatness, right? So what I would say on a planet full of, most of us have the separation of, an illusion mindset, right? Yeah. And most of us and some of us are conscious. So out of the entire planet, do you actually see the entire planet having an awakening? Well, I know one day it's possible. Anything is so. But if right now the majority of the universe, the planet, right, Mother Earth, right, the planet is in a state of separation, isn't that going to manifest?
I don't feel that. I feel the only separation that lies anymore is within the individual.
True.
I feel that, like I said, the old world ended in 2012. I wholeheartedly believe that. I seen the pinnacle, all the revolutions and everything leading up, the energy, the frequency, and I felt it. And I feel the increase of vibration that the universe, everybody can tell the time has been moving faster. Last year felt like fucking 4 months. Physics has proven that time is actually moving faster because the heartbeat, the frequency of the universe is beating faster, and your pulse beats to that same pulse.
True.
And so, just like consciousness works with the monkeys and this worked with the pitcher, there will be a critical mass point where there's so many people that's conscious that everybody is going to be forced to be conscious. See, me in the past, when I would talk about certain things, people would be shut out.
Wow.
And closed off like so fast.
Wow.
But nowadays you can even see like 70, 80-year-old people would be like really set in their ways and shit. And you could bring up something like reptilians or something just way right
How many
field.
bones are in the spinal cord?
And they're not going to shut you out because inevitably they're getting information in their sleep, in their subconscious form whenever they're actually leaving their body. They're getting downloads. We're constantly getting downloads these days because of the frequency.
True.
It's the force of the shift.
True.
And there's more talk about the shift with past life regressions and shit like this. Not really anything I just pulled out of my ass. It's just kind of some research of some things that I've been looking at over the years. And it's really something that I feel inside. You know, you keep on talking about it, you feel like something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
You get that the intuition. Your second brain is just it's communicating with you.
And so I know that the prophecies and all this shit that they're talking about is this fucking, this breath of, oh shit, I'm connected to fucking everything. Because most people can pick out that one day that it was just like that. True. It happened. Like that's why some people know a date. They're like, yeah, my awakening was like such and such. Just like Christians know, they might know a date where they cited the Lord's Prayer at the altar and accepted Christ in their heart, you know, when they were saved, or they might remember the day that they were baptized, or this or that.
True.
Most people can pinpoint their awakening whenever they become conscious. Most people can put a date on that shit, because a rebirth is fucking monumental. Wow. You know, when you're reborn, you look at everything differently, you learn how to communicate differently, you learn how to walk in the now differently. And you have to relearn all this stuff because you're reborn. You know, you have to because inevitably, like becoming conscious, you realize that everything you've been told was a fucking lie.
and that's a big pill to fucking swallow. You know, it's like everything you've been told since, you know, day one of your human experience.
Every bit of it.
Every single syllable, word, you know, spells that have been cast on your reality is a bald-faced lie, and that's a big pill to swallow. You know, including myself when I realized that my lie, I was living a lie, exactly. My lie, the reality that I was faced with and accepting at the time, I realized that was, you know, false. That was false evidence, right? And that was painful. I even shed some tears. I was even, you know, I was wow, I was lost for words. You know, I was like, what am I doing? What am I becoming? What am I eating? What have I been doing for my life? How am I still alive? These are questions I asked myself when I was alone. You know, we all talk to ourselves when we're alone. If you want to, you know, let me ask you a question on that. So when you're alone, do you talk to yourself?
I'm always talking to myself in my head. I communicate with my intuition constantly.
Exactly. Ditto. I talk to myself as well. Now, to someone with a massive ego, which would be an ego self, they would say, "I don't talk to myself. They're crazy." And including myself, you know, when I was in my ego self, I used to think people were crazy because they talked to themselves. I was like, they're fucking crazy. What I didn't realize at the time, when I wasn't aware at the time, I realized that if you say a prayer, right? If you say an affirmation, that's self-talk.
Yeah.
So we all crazy. We're all fucking weird, you know.
It's not crazy. It's the secret.
It's reality. It's reality, you know. So it's like it's just most of us, including myself, I didn't want to admit that in front of a crowd. It's like, no, they want to know my superpower. No, I want to be, you know. And it's like now I realize vulnerability is a sign of strength. You know, if you can be vulnerable with, you know, anyone and show that, you know, that's a sign of bravery. You know, because that's not even common. You know, authenticity isn't common. You know, and I don't know why is that so. You know, I don't know what we're afraid of, or, you know, being judged, or because we're going to be judged anyway. No matter what we do, you could be greatness, you could be, you know, nothing. We have, and that's the thing, we have to fear on in nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what like myself, I'm nothing. I can say that. I can look at this camera and be optimistic and just say I am nothing. with the I am in front of it, and still be in humble confidence, right? Because this isn't even happening. We think that it's happening. We think that this is a reality, and it isn't. This isn't even taking place. So we have to realize that life is what we see it from our own perspective, from our own belief system. Your belief system creates your reality based on how do you see it? Well, I see planet Earth as separation. I see it as unity. Okay, you're right. You're right. Both perspectives. So I'm even mindful of my words. I say, most of us are as separation, consciousness, right? And most of us are unity. So I'm still seeing it separately, right? If you want to get logical, I'm seeing it still separately. And so, not saying, oh, I don't see it separately, because it doesn't have to be today. It could be tomorrow. Who knows? But that day shall come. But at the moment, the present moment, it isn't current. So it's like this is happening when we go into this, 3D reality dimension from from the different dimensions. Because someone asked me, they said, how do you enter another dimension, right? And I was like, well, it's inward.
Inward dimension, yeah.
Yeah, it's inward. So it's not like it's a portal right here. I'm gonna say, like I'm gonna jump through the portal. No, it's inward. So when you're meditating and you're focusing, now you can be present, right? You can remain in the present moment 100%, and you do that through your breathing. So at the same take when you're focusing on your breathing and because you're breathing the air inward,
yeah,
right? So you enter that, with your eye closed, you enter that dimension. So it's like when you get into the fifth dimension, you enter a dimension of unfuckwittable, right?
Yeah.
You enter when you enter the fifth dimension, you enter an unfuckwittable consciousness. When you're in the fifth dimension, nothing can fuck with you. Like, you just feel so liberated. You feel so great. You feel so epic. You feel so one with life. You feel unity. You feel oneness. You feel the love frequency. You feel the light frequency. You feel the abundance, the joy, the bliss, positivity, precisely, right?
That's right. Being in the fifth is just knowing that you're fucking connected to everything. Just knowing that everything's a duplication of you is being in the fifth. And knowing that everything is a duplication of you, and knowing that you can control it with your thoughts, or you can add speed to it with your words or actions, is becoming like the God within you. And so, learning those tricks through meditation and taking that journey within and all that good stuff is teaching you more about yourself and how to operate and manipulate this fifth.
You're basically exactly. You're right, Nick. And you manipulate because you're basically hacking your reality. That's what you're doing. You're taking it and you're shape shifting that shit. You're just like, I don't like this reality.
Right.
And you're putting that energy out there, and therefore it's changing right before your eyes. Like, literally, you go to sleep, wake up, and you live that reality.
And so everybody right now is
not go to sleep, but you rest.
Everybody
needs you to wake up, universe, not go to sleep.
Everybody's recalibrating right now. I like that term.
Yes.
You recalibrated. Becoming conscious was recalibrating. Knowing that you're connected to everything, you recalibrate everything about you. So, like,
Absolutely.
The rebirth is no different than, fixing shit.
Positively.
Recalibrating your reality.
Positively.
Releasing the BS, releasing the shit in your life that no longer serves you, purging these things out of there, and getting back to square one and learning yourself and learning that this is your reality, becoming reborn into knowing that you are the all and the everything, and that you are God. And then learning that and knowing that and then learning how to manipulate that is
absolutely
is like conscious and
it's
operating in the fifth.
Amazing,
shit. It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
And so so nobody be expecting for everything to just snap overnight. We're gonna get to a point to where it's just, it already is. I needed healing, physically and spiritually and mentally, but everybody is gonna need. They're gonna need a lot of healing, and they're gonna need a lot of shoulders to lean on, and connections to make, and people to bounce off of, and so we can figure out going about how to fix all the bullshit that we've created now, to create the new heaven on earth. But luckily, there's people that's became conscious and been thinking about these things their entire life. And then there's people that wrote books about it, and then there's more people becoming conscious and falling into their paths, which is to facilitate healing, or just vibrating higher to help everybody else, or just share their experience on their journey so you can relate to it and maybe pull you out of your dark points, things like that. But we're gonna have to heal. We're gonna have to facilitate healing for society and Earth and one another, to rebuild this. Thankfully, we got this new generation, which they call the rainbow children. They're born in the perfect blueprint that we were created. They're already like vibrating at the highest. That's why a lot of them have been diagnosed with autism and shit. These kids communicate with their parents no fucking problem, because they're basically fucking telepathic. They're vibrating higher.
Sure.
They have no problem with communicating with their parents and stuff like that. Just communicate with society. Sure. And so autism is just not being able to communicate, but they don't have communication problems. They just don't start talking to like 3 or 4 years old, but they're just vibrating higher. Like they're the perfect blueprint of humanity, and they're like 0 to 7 years old, and they're already teaching us fucking amazing shit, and they haven't even fell into their path. And so they're teaching us already. Imagine whenever these kids hit like teenagers and adults, and then when they have this beautiful earth, it's gonna be like a beautiful fucking thing, man.
Sure.
Heaven on earth, just like everybody talked about.
Absolutely.
So don't just expect it to happen overnight. It could be perhaps, the perfect heaven on earth may not be in my lifetime or my next. Who knows? Time is an illusion, so just don't play the same game that people are used to playing with themselves, with any kind of hope for a better. Just don't ever think that something's just going to come in a flash of an eye and just make everything all better.
Sure.
I do feel like there will be a point where everybody becomes conscious, but you still have free will, and people deny their consciousness all the time and deny that voice in their head. And so just because everybody might know that they're connected to everything, people still have free will and human nature. There will be like a majority that's be like just fall right into it and hit the ground running, but some motherfuckers are just hard headed.
Yeah. I know I was hard headed, and I'm still hard headed. I'm not gonna admit that. I'm no saint. I'm hard headed. I learned from every one of my experiences, and that's what it's about. It's about learning, and therefore we can have that spiritual growth. We can ascend. We can raise our consciousness by letting that shit go. I made a video earlier today that was titled "Let That Shit Go," and you become more lighter. As far as suppressing things, thoughts, it's not serving you. Ask yourself. And when you just start your day off, and you're just grateful for, it may be 3 things. It could be just being alive. That's one of them, right? Being alive, having fresh water. That's 2. Having shelter. That's 3. So every day, if you just applying gratitude to 3, to being thankful for, and grateful for 3 things every day, that's going to manifest. You're going to manifest a a spiritual journey. Whatever you choose to label it, one choose to label it as. You can say it's a religious path. You can say it's all just a path. You know, until you attach a label to it, right? Just want a path. We all have different paths. You can label it whatever you want to label, but it's all, when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, it's a path that one walked.
Yeah, for sure. The path that they walked with themselves to learn themselves.
True. Exactly. And no, that's the path that I'd say. I removed myself from the herd, and I wasn't following the crowd. I was more so following my soul, and that's why I'm able to go to higher, higher, places in life and destinations and dimensions, because I embody solitude. I know who I am. I know how powerful I am. I know how powerful the words are. I am. They're the most two powerful words on this planet. And you realize everyone doesn't have that abbreviation in front of their consciousness. Like myself, I believe that I was Devin Sessoms. Devin Sessoms isn't who I am. That was just a belief system. That was the old belief system I had. So now, the last 5 years of my existence, right? Not the last, we don't say that. The last 5 years of my different perspective, right? My different perspective. Now I'm able to see life from the beard god standpoint, right? I don't see it as from Devin. Even the beard god is an illusion, but that's how I see it. So if I get around someone that's afraid of God, you're going to be afraid of me, because God is everything. He's energy, but did you claim it? When you sign your signature, does it says God? Just because you know you are, but how do you remind yourself? And a lot of us don't want to change anything. A lot of us are afraid to, because we read a book that was man-made, and that put us in fearful. You're telling me that the ego self is fear. Why would one want to remain that reality? Anyone can express that one. If the ego is fear-based, why would one want to remain in that reality that consciousness of separation? If one has the belief system of religion, that's separation. That's racism. It is.
Yeah.
It's separation.
Exactly.
My God is better than yours.
Exactly.
That's separation.
Exactly. It's the opposite of what religion should teach.
It's the opposite of unity. It's the opposite of oneness. And even myself, I realized that I didn't see it that way.
Agnostic.
Yeah.
Agnostic.
Yes.
It's not knowing.
That's an atheist.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
An atheist.
Of Christians.
That's an atheist. Not
Catholics
unity. So you telling me Bob Marley's an atheist?
Fuck me.
No. You telling me Michael Jackson is an atheist? Wow. Moment of silence. Right? So it's like we how do we really see life? And we gotta all ask ourselves, are we willing to change our perspective or just keep living a lie? And I once was living a lie, and I embraced that lie, and I realized that I didn't like my reality. I didn't like what I was becoming, the consciousness, the concept, my daily routine. What was it? I didn't know. I was just waking up, getting up, going to a job I hated, being in a relationship I hated, and my lifestyle become what I hated.
That's right.
That was my reality. I hated every single day. And how much can a soul face that, accept that, when it knows its infinite potential, right? So once you remove yourself from the equation of that matter, of that situation, now you realize you can heal. You're more happy. You're getting back into the inner child. You're getting crystals, and you're like, I love this shit, And you can be yourself 100% without judgment. It's no conditional love and unconditional love, right? You got conditional love. You better do this. You better have a car. You better have a job. You better have money. Unconditional love. You ain't got nothing, but I love you. I'm not going to judge you. That's fucking rare. You know why that's rare? Because I'm not going to say no. Most of us don't practice unconditional love with ourselves. That's why we had none to give.
That's right. You gotta love yourself.
Unconditional love
is
isn't common. It's like a fucking fossil in the desert.
That's right.
If you find that fucking fossil in the desert, you better clean that shit, shine it, and cherish it. Like Sade say, you better cherish the day, cherish that fucking fossil because
That's
it's
right.
rare. It's an extinct consciousness, right? It's an extinct state of being because we live in a planet that most of us believe everything is separation. You don't do things my way. It's this. This is the consequence.
It's easy whenever you realize
Because I'm such and such. Look, then we say I'm such and such, and I'm such and so. Wow. So once again, you're looking down on another being. You're looking down on your reflection, right? And
Your
so
reflection. That's right.
you're looking down on your reflection. But at that state of being, I know my early path. At that state of being, I didn't realize I was looking down on people, and I didn't have any knowledge of self. But I can talk about it today because that's my past, and
right.
your past doesn't define you.
Hell
You know,
no.
your actions does. So
That's right.
these are my actions, but that's history. That already happened, and there's nothing to do to change that. You know, I'm not even gonna look that way and see the process on how far I even came because I'm too busy in the present.
That's what
Being,
I like.
right?
Yeah.
In the present moment. So I realized that focusing on your own spiritual growth and sharing it with an amazing people, and these are real people. This isn't Facebook Live and Instagram. This isn't a video game. This is people have real lives and real stories and situations out here that we all can relate to.
That's right.
And that's why I do it. I do it every day. I share quotes, information, everything because I believe on. I believe on. I might not be able to change the planet by myself, but I'm gonna damn die trying to.
Well, I can already tell you right now, the only fucking way you change the world is by starting with yourself.
That's it.
You change
That's the
yourself,
secret.
you change your life,
That's the
and inevitably
secret.
you change the motherfucking world.
That's the secret. So I wrote a book. It's by Devin Sessoms. It's called "We Are Co-Creators: The Law of Attraction," and that was my self-love experience. So that's what I became in solitude, self-love, and I shared that experience with with the world, and it's like. Well, look, it's so I manifest so many, unconditional love, scare energy encounters because of my story, and that's not my entire story, but it's my self-love journey, and
right.
it just changed my perspective. I'm able to give love because my cup is full, and when someone says having a full cup, most of us think it's money. Right, we believe that having a full cup is having a lot of currency. In my early path, I had 20 jobs, right? And I had pockets for currency, but I didn't have any love to give. I had all the designer clothes, the new phone, the new haircut. Look at my pictures. The proof is there. And I didn't have anything to give, but I can tell you, look at me, and look what I can do, which was nothing at that time.
Yeah.
Right, so now I realize that letting that shit go, like my video earlier today, let that shit go. And you can, like I said, you can watch that video and you can get different perspectives from it. But what I meant by let that shit go, I was talking about like, toxic thinking, toxic people,
Yeah.
thoughts, situations. Let that shit go so you can free your soul. And I realized by letting that shit go that you're able to love yourself. You're able to heal yourself. You're able to, most importantly, essentially, you're able to be yourself, right? So it's like, wow, just having that interconnectedness with oneself and experiencing solitude. How, I ask myself this question, right, Nick? I say, how would one become conscious or have a connection with their higher self? And
Buddy!
This is the conclusion. This is the answer that I came up with. Solitude. That's how you. Yes, that's how you would have a connection with oneself through solitude. And it's like, why wouldn't one wants to be alone, or not even just having not even just having spending time alone, but just by learning who you are and enjoying your own company, like I said, dating yourself, treating yourself with love and care, and honoring yourself, even praising yourself. You know, my early I used to just say praise the Lord and hallelujah, right? I don't know what I was praising or what I was doing at that time, but I was like hallelujah and amen, and I was dancing and doing cartwheels and all of that, and I realized I was lying to myself because after I said all those words and spells, nothing happened. It actually got worse, right? So I just started being not um, expecting a lot and expecting much and having expectations, right? And just really living life in each moment and focusing on what am I doing every day? How am I growing from that? Do I have any content or any knowledge or wisdom that I can give back to the universe?
Yeah.
How can I serve the universe of purpose? And I realized that wow, I am doing that. I'm inspiring every day, and I realized that is that who I am? Maybe so, because I love to do it. So maybe that's who I am, to inspire and spread peace and love. I believe that I'm here to do that because I love it. I believe that's my life purpose, to spread infinite love and positive energy. Like it's a lifestyle.
It's a fucking awesome purpose to have.
That's
I'm
it.
Blessed.
It's badass.
It's
Badassery. You know what I mean? Badassery. So I just I realized by just being yourself, and you know by being yourself, you're putting something original and unique on planet Earth. You're bringing originality, something authentic to the standpoint. You're being yourself. So, and that's so rare because most of us don't want to be ourselves because we are afraid. What are we afraid of, Nick? What do you think we're afraid of?
Yeah, well, most people are afraid of this being one and only experience. There's an end. That's probably the most scariest thing ever, is that this beauty's going to end.
Right.
Or that you might burn in hell.
Yeah, you're right. I think that the number one to go to answer would be in fear. It would be, being judged.
Yeah.
Being judged. If I do this, what are they going to think about me? Caring another spell. Caring what others think about you. Oh, if I do this, what are the people going to think about me? Number three, creating something that isn't there. If I do this, this might go wrong, that might go wrong. So all these things that we're creating is keeping us at a stagnant state of being, and we really put ourselves in mental bondage by doing that. Because that becomes a habit. Yeah. So any situation or opportunity that might present itself to us, we're blocking it through our thoughts, through our emotions, by the way we feel, and it's like, wow, you're really blocking the greatness that should be in your life, but by you remaining in that ego self, which is separation, now you're not able to transmute energy and create a reality with that emotion.
Yeah.
Because emotion is just what? Energy in motion. That's all emotions is.
Yeah.
So whatever emotions that you're putting out into the universe is going to come back to sender.
Exactly how it works. It's karma.
That's it.
Just another word.
The 12 laws.
It's the energy.
The 12
exchange.
laws of exactly. The 12 laws of karma. I shared that as well. So it's like you just be more. You become more oneness with the frequency of the universe, right? Yeah. So it's like that's what it's about. It's about connecting with the universe, oneness, not being not having a belief system, which is bullshit. Yeah. Having a belief system of separation, having a belief system of I'm better than you. I'm this. I got this credential. I got this amount of information, or I'm just competing.
Ego.
Because the ego is about competing. The love is about connecting.
That's right.
Love is about unity. Love is about oneness. Love doesn't know anything about separation. It knows everything about connectedness and oneness.
That's right.
So why aren't we taught that? They don't teach you that in school.
No, everything was we've designed everything for ourselves to promote fear and separation.
Sure.
Inevitably, we did a critical mass point with that, is where everybody's going to see that we've fear-based ourselves and pushed ourselves, and inevitably just kind of make everybody wake up faster.
True.
Because we did so much bullshit. You know, we're covered by all angles with this fear and this separation when it comes to race, imaginary lines in the fucking ground, fucking chemtrails, religion, all this shit. The frequency on the radio, the frequency of the fucking TV, the lyrics in certain songs, all this shit is inevitably like promoting this separation and this fear.
True.
And inevitably, it's making motherfuckers wake up faster.
Yeah. It's like becoming more consciousness is like, it's to the point now. I think like it's starting to become more trendy. It's like the spiritual journey is like getting crystals and getting a necklace, but it's more than just crystals. It's deeper than just wearing.
Watch it whenever you see
bracelets.
Businesses. The new thing is businesses are going to be like, we use sustainable materials.
Yes.
Let me show you what we spend our money on. Transparency is going to be the new gimmick. Sustainability is going to be the new sales tactic, because inevitably becoming conscious, you become aware of what you're eating, become aware of what you're spending your dollar on. Inevitably, we're going to make it where we don't need fucking money anymore. But inevitably, on bringing down the system and changing the new world, like I said, you do that with your life and the decisions you make day to day with your persons and what you spend your money on and the people you surround yourself with. That's what changes the world. And so
that's true. That's true.
You can fight that battle with that dollar. You go spend your money at the local farmers market. Buy anything local, or some more support mom and pop businesses and stuff like that. That's your battle with your dollar. And so pick out companies that don't ship things overseas and use child labor, and pick your local farmer and connect and share. And so finding going that journey and finding yourself and loving yourself, you're gonna want to connect with other people and share that love afterwards.
True. It's all about being a giver and not a taker, because I realize when you give, you receive infinite unexpected blessings. And we all have things. I'm not going to say things, but we all can give something, and it's necessarily not even just more so money, because Bob Marley said most people have most people are so poor, all they have is money to give. So you got to realize, and money can't define happiness. And it's like happiness is a state of mind. Happiness is a state of being. And when the planet realized that happiness can't be brought or purchased on Amazon or Google, or it can't be brought, you can't put a price on happiness. It's practically priceless. So when the planet realized that we will all express and experience life at a peaceful point of view, from a peaceful place, and it's like most of us are living a reality that we hate, and that's why it's continuously manifesting, because we believe that, isn't it? We believe that reality is real, that we hate, so that manifests.
That's right.
Isn't it? So we got to realize that if we can change that frequency at any moment. We can say that I am a guru of my own divinity, or I am the GPS of my own divinity, and that will manifest, that will happen. One will become more aware and more conscious of their decision making, their words, their actions, right? Because we just do things every day because we believe we have to do those things, and that becomes a reality. I believe I got to get up and do that and do that and do that, and we hate that. We hate that shit, but we do it. We hate it. We want to just fucking take the reality and just throw it in the air and shoot with a shotgun and say, boom! We want to just say, fuck that, but why do we keep living that way when we don't have to? Because we're going to be judged. We're going to be judged anyway.
It's because people aren't conscious of how they're living.
That's true.
Deep down, they kind of know that something's not right. And that's why they numb themselves with drugs and belief systems. The reason why people go out and get so tore up whenever you go against a belief system is they think there's truth in numbers, and so they think the more people believe what they believe, they're subconsciously trying to prove themselves to themselves, because they're all knowing. They already know that they're connected to everything, and so they like to gather numbers in their BS and their belief system because they're trying to fool them fucking selves. And so they think the more people that believe the same lie, the more true that it may be, but inevitably they absolutely know that it's not true. And then they know that there's more to life than fucking work and money. You know, they know that you're not your life isn't consist of being born, fucking growing up, getting a job, working 9 to 5, going to bed, waking up and repeating that shit until your body falls apart and then dying.
Literally.
That's fucking slavery.
Yeah. It's like
people know this isn't
like
right.
It's
that's
like,
why they do drugs and drink alcohol
because
and numb
they,
themselves.
because they don't want to accept that reality.
No, because they know it's not life. They're all knowing, so belief systems and TV and all this shit, they're using this. We have used it to numb ourselves against what we already know. Because
that's right.
Inside we already know that the shit that we're doing is not right, and so that's why we seek out belief systems and power in numbers and believing in the lie, and that's why we fucking. People become addicted to alcohol or gambling or hookers or all this shit. It's because everybody's addicted to being happy, and they're seeking for that happiness. And nobody knew.
I don't want us to use the word addiction. I want to just use the word attachment. Right? We get attached to these habits. We get attached to this lifestyle. Right? It's like, okay, I used to smoke cigarettes. Okay, I used to smoke cigarettes every single day for years, for eons. But then one day I said, let that shit go. Fuck that shit. I'm not smoking any more cigarettes. Fuck that. And I realized when I made that decision, I haven't smoked any cigarettes for, over a year now. So it's like, I realized I'm really eating healthy and healing myself literally in all forms. And I just feel like this is probably the most healthiest I've ever been in a long time, in a long while. So I'm like, wow, reality had definitely, changed for the better, and for, most importantly, just the way I think or I move, or the way the universe responds to me. I'm more aware, I'm more conscious, and I love that. And would I actually go back to being asleep and not consciousness? Shit, no, fuck no, positively, no. Positively no, and it's like that was actually a nightmare. That was hell. That was the HELL experience. But before you wake up, that fucking that human experience is hell. It's like whoa. Like when you become more conscious, life is beautiful, but you're still healing from all that hurt. Like whoa, years and years of wear and tear on your body. That's that's painful, excruciating pain. Literally.
For sure. Because hell is a mind frame and so is heaven. Just like Bob Marley said, if you know what life is worth, you'll look for yours on earth. Because hell and heaven are metaphors for a state of mind. And so when you live in fear, you live in hell. And then when you realize that you're fucking God and that you never die and you're an eternal being, there's nothing left to fear, so you can live in heaven.
Absolutely. And and I realized myself, I used to seek for God and look for God, and I felt, and even if I done something that didn't resonate with my soul, I felt guilty. I had a real intense anxiety. And I asked myself, why do I have intense anxiety, or why do I feel a certain way? And I realized that because I was in fear.
Yeah.
I believed that God was going to get me because I did something not appropriate, right? And that was a belief system that I created that wasn't even reality. And so now I see life from, I know thyself. I know who I am. I know that I'm God consciousness. I know that we are co-creators of our own reality. I know these things, and when you find the truth of of what you're saying or what you're speaking, it's no way you can go back to that lifestyle. It's no way. It's not happening. You couldn't pretend if you wanted to. When one becomes conscious, it's 100% of their life, and take ownership of their life and realize, okay, I am the guru of my reality. You know, it's no going back to that that past that past life. You wouldn't go back there even if you wanted to. It's no. Why would you do that to yourself?
No
You know,
shit.
you came out, you made it out alive. Why would you go back to that? Why you want to go back? You really want to go back? Oh, wow, really? Oh, fuck no, hell no. There's no question, hands down. Like, so it's like that experience. It just taught me so much about where I'm at today. And I ask myself, what brings me happiness and joy today? How am I able to smile? Every single day. Yeah, exactly. Even the dog said, I'm able to smile every single day with having, little, with just having a big heart and a epic vision, because I'm a visionary. So having a epic vision every day, that's my secret. That's how I do it. I don't make videos and make posts and say, I'm going to do this next month. I'm going to do this next week. I'm going to do it. No, I just do that shit. I just say, let's go. Let's make it happen. Be present. Take radical action. Right. That's my secret. Radical action.
Yeah.
You get time alone and you vent, and then you just take radical action. That's the secret. Action. Actions are not even loud. They're just actually, actions is just what you perceive it to be. Actions isn't.
Some momentum to the energy.
Actions have no fear. Actions have no fear. Because if action had fear, it wouldn't be an action. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't take place. So actions have no fear. So why do most of us, including myself, why are we afraid to take action in most cases? We become indecisiveness, and we become unsure, right? Because we create something or a consciousness or a mindset that's not there. So that becomes one's reality. And including my early path, I realized that when I was thinking of, getting in front of a camera, even public speaking right now, this is easy. This is like, going in the candy store saying, "Can I have some some walnuts, some peanut juice?" I've been here before. I'm familiar with this territory. This is my stomping ground. And when you do this, when you do that same exact, when you have that same, like I said, routine. What are you doing every day? I'm making videos. I'm inspiring. So that becomes a reality, right? Because it's a habit. When you do something every day, or you constantly, consistently, I said consistency, because the same difference. Consistently don't take an action. You're able to get to higher, levels in your life.
Yeah.
You're able to go places that you've never been, because the unknown is where you've never been. The unknown is unfamiliar. We don't know what's going to happen when we leave this door right now. You don't know what's going to happen when I get up and leave this table, this interview. What's going to happen? Nobody knows. So it's like, but I would never know what's going to happen if I didn't take the radical action. So that's the secret, by taking just action and just believing that it's something out here that's far more greater than the reality that I'm accepting. Right? It's just like, if I believe that the reality that I'm experiencing right now is my life, then so it is.
Yeah.
This whole entire journey, I never looked at my reality as my life, and that's my secret. I look at it as an experience, a human experience that I'm growing from. I'm having growth, because no pain, no gain. So you have to go through the hardship and the pain and the humiliation and the struggle and the starvation. All these things and attributes you have to go to appreciate gratitude, to appreciate the present moment, to appreciate any energy that enters your life or comes your way. That's what taught me it turned me into a lighthouse, based upon my own experience. So I would say to anyone that's watching this video or that's tuning in, if you're not at a level of enlightenment, or you're not at a level of unity, or oneness, or just peace and love and no separation. I can tell you from experience that's not healing the body. It's actually stressing the body out. It's wear and tearing on your immune system. So, I'm not saying the way that you see life is different. I mean, it is different, but I'm not saying the way that you see life is, better or it's harmful. But, just by having a separation state of mind, you're damaging your DNA. So I believe when just practicing, self-love and unity and oneness and getting in nature more, and just loving yourself and loving the universe as well, because the universe is me, the universe is you. I am you, you are me. We are one and the same. There aren't any others. Right? There aren't any others. Separation is an illusion. We are all one and the same. So it's like, if the planet can actually, the planet can actually see it from that perspective, from that point of view, then it would be colossal change. It would be historical. It would be history. It would be legendary. So that's what it's all about, getting the planet to become more conscious. And how can we actually help the planet become more conscious? By putting out better music,
Many ways.
putting out better messages, being the catalyst, being the lighthouse, being the example.
You start with yourself.
Exactly. So you become that lighthouse and that example for the world to shine and glow. For the world to know the truth on who they are and how powerful they are and what they can do, and what they can't do. Because you say, Will Smith said, he who thinks he's right and he who thinks he's wrong is usually right. Right? So if you think that you're right, you're right.
That's right.
If you think that you're wrong, you're right.
wrong.
It's like, so it's
Oh
like,
yeah, you're right about
you're
being
right.
wrong.
So
That's
it's like,
correct.
by having that state of mind, that state of being, it's like, holy shit. You want to just practice on, not just necessarily being right, but necessarily being more aware of, one's reality. And that's what it's all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. I had to remix it real fast. Turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. So yeah, it's about the experience, baby. That just sharing the experience, and accepting yourself the way you are, and not judging yourself, and just being amazing. Being amazing.
Yes, just the universe experience itself.
Absolutely.
And
That's what it's all about.
When you get to know you and you find yourself, you'll find what you're passionate about, and then you'll find the God within, which is a fucking creator, and then you can learn.
Tracy.
You'll find yourself, and you can find your passion for your creation. So inevitably, when people become conscious, they're gonna seek what they want to create.
True.
And as soon as people get the time to invest in creating things they're passionate about, that in itself is going to be monumental and such a beautiful thing.
Yes, yes.
Because, it's all about creation. So when you learn that you control your reality with your thoughts, and then you multiply the speed and the fucking manifestation process with your words and then your actions, and you start learning the tools and the trades of being the master creator that you are,
True.
then you'll become passionate towards something in that creation, and then you put that passion and that love into that creation, and there ain't nobody can do anything to fuck with that shit.
That's right. That's right.
And then it becomes beautiful. Like, people are going to invent some of the most magnificent things that the world needs.
That's right.
To sustain
The world needs
itself.
that global healing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to heal themselves, but we got to heal the world. We got to collapse the systems that we've created around us that's enslaved us, and create new systems where we're at one with the universe and Mother Earth, and we're not dependent on fossil fuels or anything that damages the earth or our air or our water, because I don't give a fuck how much money you got. We're destroying the earth
Yeah.
over money and making ourselves with money.
Truly are.
But
Truly
what
are.
are you gonna do when you're gonna have no water to drink or no air to breathe? You can't fucking. What's that money gonna do for you then?
Nobody knows when you have no fresh water, no air, and that's what I realized.
Thankfully, we're not gonna get there.
Most of us, including myself, I wasn't appreciative and grateful for the small things in life. Just by being alive, just by able to share content every day, by just waking up every day. Just having food to eat. Having a shower to take a shower. To take a bath, to bathe yourself. Most of us aren't even appreciative of that.
Yeah.
And I realized that I wasn't appreciative of that, and I lost all that. And the day that I lost it, and I got it, and I experienced it, I'm like, wow, that's a blessing. But I'm talking about to really take it away from your reality 100%. Like that's when you really appreciate, a bed to lay on, a couch to sit on. I don't gotta sit on the street. I ain't gotta sit on someone's step, someone's backyard.
Yeah.
And it's like, but how can you appreciate that if you never had that experience? Or how would you know where someone is coming from if you never had that experience to start with?
Yeah.
It isn't so, isn't it? So it's like that's why I always say to people and myself. I realize that treat others how you want to treat how you see yourself. Because one of my quotes I wrote, I said, the way one treats people speaks volume of it's of oneself. So pretty much the way you treat someone, that speaks volume of your own soul.
Yeah.
The way one treats another speaks volume of their own soul. So if I see you as if I judge you and see you as a certain way, that's how I see myself, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm not saying I'm a saint and I'm perfect, but I believe that we are all love and light, and that's who we are. Even darkness, we all are love, light, and darkness. That's who we are until we realize that we're going to keep experiencing the same test over and over again until we learn from it, each situation.
Yeah.
Whether it's a light situation or whether it's a dark situation, these situations are in our life so we can have that spiritual growth, so we can ascend, so we can level up in consciousness wise. And that's what it's about. And most of us are afraid to do that. That's why we're not waking up, because we're afraid to do something new. We're afraid to come out of our comfort zones, right? So a comfort zone, I realize, can literally kill you. Literally. So we don't know, tomorrow isn't promised. Tomorrow isn't even exists.
Yeah.
That's an illusion. So all we have is the present moment, which is the here and now. So what is there to think about? That's why Buddha said the problem is we think we have time. We think that, right? And that becomes a reality.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like, we listen to a lot of spiritual teacher quotes, but I look at each quote that they, or each perspective, their perspective, obviously, the way they see it. And that's what it's all about. Not just spiritual teachers, Jesus, Buddha, all these, enlightened beings. It's about the way we see it as well. Because our perspective matters. Every perspective. I believe that every perspective matters, and that's what I believe. So there's no separation. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. Animals, trees, leaves, a blade of grass, a flower, a rose. It's all connected. And when the world really sees that and realize that, then we can evolve or go to the next level, the consciousness level. And that's what it's all about: higher vibrations and higher frequencies. And how you raise your vibration is by being alone, solitude, studying who you are, studying things about yourself that you really didn't know at the time. You didn't know you were this powerful. You didn't know that, being free is your birthright. You didn't know that fruits and vegetables are the new medicine. That's my medicine, not pills, fruits, vegetables, sunlight, alkaline water, alkaline foods. That's my medicine. That's the lifestyle that I live. I'm about that life. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you have that relationship with yourself, therefore when you meet someone, now you can share that lifestyle or that world with another. because you treat yourself like that when you're alone, right? So you only can treat someone how you see yourself, whether whatever perspective that is, or how do you see it? You know, how do you see that that energy, or did that energy even matter? Because for anything to take place, that would have to become matter of the fact, right? So it's like, wow, when one sees it like that, one will be more consciousness and more gentle with their way of thinking.
Yeah, because inevitably, inevitably,
Inevitably,
inevitably,
inevitably. There you go. You said it. Inevitably.
whenever you learn who you are and you start to love yourself, you learn that everything you see is just a merely duplication of you. That you have to love everything and everybody you see, because that is you. As just a reflection of you. It's a mirror of you.
That is you, essentially. You know?
So even the worst person you could think of in your life has done the worst things you can imagine. That is you. So you got to approach that person with love and compassion, because that is just you confused.
True.
Or you reacting to your belief system and how you were brought up.
That's the you that you think that you are.
Right?
So, that's the you who. That's the you who that you think that you are, right? So it's like we think that we're this and we think that we're that, and we're just the here and the now. That's all we are, the here and the now, the present. That's all we are, the present moment. All of us. That's why it's happening simultaneously, because we're all one.
That's right. It's all a duplication.
Truth. Yes,
A
indeed.
duplication of that one center part of the universe, the love light that we call prime creator, God, whatever you want to call it. You're all just a duplication of that. That's why you are God.
Absolutely.
That's why you control all of this.
So everything is one. We just appreciate, for you, you beautiful souls that just took the time, even though time is an illusion, you still took the time out just to be here and be a part of this, high frequencies, episode 11, the process moment. And Nicholas, when we finish this video, what can they find the audio, and how can they look it up? Google? How does it work?
All you guys, the regulars on here, they know. You can check out the website at higherfrequencies5d.com. You can catch us on Facebook, Higher Frequencies, facebook.com, /higher frequencies NC. You can catch us on iTunes. You can download the audio for free on at Higher Frequencies on iTunes. You can catch us for free on Google Play. Under Higher Frequencies, you can go directly to the website and you can download the audio from there, or you can catch the video on our Facebook or on our YouTube channel of Higher Frequencies.
Badass. Badassery. And there you have it, and so it is, and we just appreciate you coming out here. I am the Bear God, and this is Nicholas from Higher Frequencies. This is I'm a guest. This is his show. I appreciate you having me here. This is a humble moment and paying homage to greatness, other reflections that I'm encountering and meeting, and this is indication that I'm on the right path, and we're on the right path. So I thank you for just having me as a guest, and many more episodes to come. Look forward to it, and I love you all. Namaste, and thank you for being present. I appreciate you all.
It's definitely a joy to have you on the show.
Thank you.
It's definitely blessed to be able to do any of these things for you guys. Before we wrap up, do anybody got live in the Facebook chat has any comments or questions they want to ask before we wrap all this up?
Before we wrap up, anyone in the Facebook comments that have any questions, concerns that you might want to ask before we go ahead and shut it down, shut off?
Thanks, Sandy Murray. We always enjoy sharing with you guys. Ascend to sin, that's what we're all looking for.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy says I have a good heart. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate you. I just believe on being yourself 100%, and the rest will follow. You don't have to force anything that's meant to be in your life, and if you treat yourself with care and respect and honor and adore yourself, therefore you will manifest that same exact light and lifestyle and reality. So I'm real cautious on how I think or how I see life or how I treat people, because how you treat people is gonna that's gonna become your reality, because it's called karma. So you basically acting as if to other people and to manifest your reality. That's the secret. Act as if. So how can one realize? I mean, how can one be afraid of a reality that they didn't act as if? It's not even possible. So, thank you, Tracy, for being your authentic self and being authenticity. I appreciate you. And wow,
That's right.
wow, wow.
Everything's an energy
You're an
exchange.
amazing. You're an amazing energy, Tracy. You're awesome. Thank you for being here tonight.
That's how it works. Everything's an energy exchange. You know, what you put out is what you're gonna bring back in.
That's right. What you put out is what's going to return back to sender. So anyone has any more questions or concerns, because we're about to go ahead and call it a beautiful ending to a new beginning, and we definitely appreciate you all tuning in.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight on episode 11, The Process on Higher Frequencies. Like I said earlier, catch us on Facebook, Higher Frequencies NC. Catch us on iTunes at Higher Frequencies, Google Play, off the website, higherfrequencies5d.com. We'll be back to see you guys soon. Peace and love. Namaste.